One of my favorite RC airplane lately has been this OMP Bighorn. I think it's just a fantastic RC airplane. It's beautiful, but there are just a few things. So I did actually replace the stock wheels on this one. So this is our Kavan 100mm wheels, which first off, I think they look nicer than the stock wheels, and they are also softer, so they will absorb imperfect landings in a better way than the stock wheels. I think the stock wheels are really stiff. So that's one thing I did, and I also experienced that this one, I swapped the EC inside, so I have an Avian 45 amp EC, and with the Avian I get telemetry warning. I can really not really turn them off. So I replaced the stock prop to actually have this one draw a little bit less current. So this is an 11 by 5.5 prop instead of the 12 by 6.5 prop. So we'll just try these new wheels and this prop, and hopefully I'll get a little bit less power draw, and I will avoid these kind of annoying EC alarm from the Avian EC. So let's just go outside and fly this lovely Bighorn. The performance with this 11 by 5.5 prop is still there. I don't think you lose really that much. It does sound a little bit different than the stock prop. So let's just try out the wheels then. See if they do make this one for softer landings. They do sound a little bit different at least. So my goal with this modification is to avoid overloading the EC, or actually overload the battery, and avoid the EC warnings being turned on. And I want to have a little bit softer landings with these new wheels. And I am doing this flight on a 3S 2200 50C. So far I've tried both 30C and 50C, and I really can't say that one gives better performance than the other. With my flap setting I have no ballooning, it just works as a great air brake. I really like to fly this one with flaps. It's super steady, much better than the E-flite Timber X or Night Timber X with flaps. So it does have a nicer sound, and it does feel a little bit softer with these wheels. So now I have the first EC alarm. So when I did this with the stock prop, there are some birds I have to avoid. The stock prop, I did actually get EC warnings much earlier, but I still think that the performance is there. Maybe you actually have a little bit more performance with the stock prop. You should have at least. And I'm actually considering just to maybe to remove this Avian EC, and I have a spare like 50 amp E-flite EC, which I might just put in. I even have an 80 amp, but I think that's just totally overkill for this RC plane. It's a really super nice performance with my flap settings. So well, for 100% or for full flaps I actually have the flap set to 90%. and I have a 20% elevator mix. I think these wheels are a good modification. Of course, if I would have even softer wheels, I could have made it even softer. As you can see in here, now I'm getting near to the end of the flight. I do get these warnings, and it's actually impossible to turn them off completely, I discovered, because when I'm removing the smart battery option in the telemetry menu on my NX10, it just pops up on another place. So it really can't be turned off, or I haven't at least found a way to turn it off completely. And if I would turn it off completely, I could just use any ESC. So it's a really soft landing with the Bighorn with these wheels. Of course, I'm doing a really nice job flaring it today. So, I mean, it's just fantastic flying RC airplane. I think it looks nice with these wheels also. With the smaller prop, I do get less warnings from the Avian 45 amp EC and the Spektrum receiver. So I mean, I don't get rid of them totally, but they're at least less. And I have to say that this prop doesn't influence really performance in any big way. So maybe I can just experiment a little bit more, maybe a different size also, maybe, I don't know, maybe 12 by 4 or I don't know, just make some adjustments on the size of this one. I also think that the wheels does make for smoother landings. Of course, I could have picked like really soft rubber wheels that would have been even better, but I think this looks nice. And the modification I had to do to make these fit is there is a centerpiece, and these are, you do get a bunch of them with these wheels when you purchase them. And I have to just shave the center parts to have the wheel go a little bit more in on the axle, and then I have a washer on the outside. So that's the modification I did, and then they just turn freely. So I mean, a few modifications, but I think this is just a fantastic flying RC airplane, really beautiful. And if you're interested to try something like a balsa and plywood plane, I think this is a good size, perfect performance, and just a great flying RC airplane.